So coming up in today's video, we finished digging all the trenches out, we go onto the path, put everything underneath there, put our irrigation sprinklers in and chuck the water on. So irrigation install, all the parts are turned up, but we're just trying to get this 100mm PVC underneath so we can run through all our pipes through there in case we want to put anything through the future. There's going to be a hole through there we can easily feed things through, but there's a ton of tree roots through here, so we're just trying to get rid of them. And then it'll be time to put stuff in the ground. So the pipe's there now, which is good, so we'll be able to feed some poly underneath that. Now I'm running 2 pipes under there, one so I can run one over to the garden beds around the back. Another reason why we've got this here. If I ever need to have like automated systems over here, I'll just run something off the house in the corner just there. The plan will eventually get some dripper systems and stuff in the garden beds here. But I forgot to mention that we will be putting some buffalo around here too at some point.
Wait a minute!
So we will clean this all up, probably irrigate this area too. Stop throwing rocks at me, brother. Check this out, Tay, where the pipe was laying. How green that is. Because there's a black pipe. Bit of heat in that, bro. It's mental. We're now back for day 3. Yesterday, unfortunately, the geotrench of the bearing at the front went, so we had to go get new bearings, so I had to wait till today, and now today is pouring rain, so hopefully get this done today and the irrigation finished tomorrow. It's taken way too long. So I'm just going to put the bearing back at the front of the bar there and start going again. So let's do it! Bear with me. Bearing with me.
That was the play. That was the play on words.
Time to lay some pipe, put some sprinklers in. So I've got our gear here. So pick this all up from in town. Where are our sprinklers? Here we go. Got the old MP 2000, no 3000s and 3500 in there. Got some blue line. Got some low density poly. So we've gone 25mm on everything. Just so we've got nice flow. And we only have to run solenoid because we've got so much pressure. One solenoid, sorry. So one station because we've got so much pressure from the pumps just over there. So Taylor is digging out where the sprinklers are going because we're putting down some swing arms, so we can adjust the height super easily. So that comes off a pipe. So we've got the sprinkler body, we've got the swing arm, and then we're going off an elbow. We've got a threaded elbow, so this is low density. Threaded elbow, so 15 BSP, 15mm threads onto the swing arm. So that'll come off the pipe in the ground, put a clip on there, and then we've got our articulated riser or our swing arm, which we can just adjust the height, which is super convenient when you're putting them in. If you ever need to adjust anything over time, like I don't know, your top dressing and need to bring them up after a couple of years, it's just super convenient, easy for repairs. That's the plan with them, and pretty cost effective. I think these were like, these articulated risers were like $5 a pop or something, maybe not even that. So let me just run over everything just quickly if you missed it late in last week's video. So it's all accumulated in this one video. So we've dug a trench from our main line from the golf course, run that through here. Did that last week with the skiddy, because the main line's where we're getting our water from, which runs from a bore into some header tanks, which then feeds down onto the golf green. So we're just going to tap into that with a tapping saddle, come off then with 25mm blue line, which will run through here, a 25mm blue line, and then we'll put down a valve here, a solenoid valve, which is going to have a wire into it so we can make it automatic. And from there it will convert into low density, which then just goes off to our sprinklers. So sprinkler 1, put a T-piece in and tee off to our first one, which then goes to the elbow, threaded elbow, articulated riser sprinkler. And same here, so we've got 4 sprinklers on each spot, and then go under the concrete with what we did. And again, there's another 6 sprinklers on this side over here. So very simple setup. We've got great pressure here, which is good. If you didn't have pressure like this, the difference is You can still make it work, you just add more stations. So if you've got lower pressure, you might have to put 2 stations in, 3 stations, which means you run 3 sprinklers at a time, or 2 sprinklers at a time, or 4 sprinklers at a time, whereas we're running 10 sprinklers on this area. Hold on, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good maths. And again, if you want to know how to install it off your tap, go check my previous video on this at my brother's house, or we're gonna do it at my brother Taylor's house, probably next month or September, so very, very soon. Have a full start to finish guide that will be in town. So first thing I need to do before we start running any water anyway, I actually need to turn off the water supply and then turn on a sprinkler down on the green to flush all the water out of the line. So when we tap into the main line, it's not gonna be water flying out everywhere. There'll still be some water there, but let's just turn it on. Go. There we go, and it's off. Okay, so we've got our pipe all the way up here now, so now we're going to start building our manifold. We're also teeing off another pipe that's going across to the other side, which is for some garden beds, so we're going to run some blue line across to the other side too. But a super simple process, like it's like putting together Lego. Like, it's not as hard as you think. You just need to get all the right bits in the right places, and there's different ways you can do it too. You don't have to be exactly the same, but we're going to run obviously our main pipe into the manifold. So the manifold is where the solenoid sits. So normally a manifold, you have a few stations on them. You can have different ones there. We've only got the one, so it's just going into the one solenoid, then running out from the blue line into low density. So low density just means it can't handle as much pressure, but that's going to be fine for our irrigation out there. But it's better to have our main line as our blue line pipe, which just handles more pressure. So let's just start. Let's get it done, brother. All right, we'll see how long this takes us. We're starting at 2 o'clock. What are you laughing at? Starting at 2 o'clock, and we'll see how long it takes to get all this done. I reckon, what do you reckon, time-wise?
6 hours, just so it takes.
6 hours?
At least
you'll be right, in the right
takes 10
boundary.
minutes.
I'm going to say an hour and 25 minutes.
Good job, mate.
Thanks, me. All the pipes in. I said, how long did I say it'd take? An hour 25. We started at 2, and it's now 5. Yeah, it took twice as long as I said. Yeah, I think you said 6 hours. It took us 3. 2, yeah, 3.
At least it was less than mine.
I can't math right now. So we're done. So obviously we haven't put all the pipe into the trenches completely, because that's actually going to run to a garden tap out here. So we haven't run that quite yet, but sprinklers are in. So we've got the flush caps in here. Just going to make sure there's no dirt in the lines. So that's why they've got these, come with these flush caps here. So we didn't put the sprinklers in yet. Actually pop these off on all the sprinklers. And and then it will flush all the dirt out to start with. Put our shut-off valve just there so we can isolate this section from the rest of the course. Got our solenoid here, and we've teed off with our blue line for the tap over the other side for the garden beds, and then just teed off our trenches up to our sprinklers. So we've got our swing arms there, and these are ready to go. We're ready to test, so it's done. It's exciting. So we'll flush them out and then put the sprinkler heads on. So I've just got to ramp up my irrigation system now. So turn a sprinkler on down at the green and slowly crack open the valve just to get any air out of the line. So manual water on number 5. There goes the sprinkler. I don't know if you can see it, you probably can't. There it is. Beautiful. Right, next step is to turn on this valve over here. Do it step by step, just to make sure there's no leaks. Yes. Crack her on, boy.
Slowly?
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, it's a leak. It's a leaking. Right, let's test that again. Had the seal on the wrong way. That looks a bit better. We've got no leaks so far on that blue line, main line. Now it's time to turn on the solenoid. This is always the exciting part. Oh yeah. So good so far. Right, it's gonna put the nozzles on, so super simple. Take off this cap and then we just screw our nozzle in there. Now, we won't adjust these today. We're just gonna make sure they're working, but they're super simple to adjust. These are what I had at my old house in town. Beautiful. Right, it's getting dark, but let's chuck this valve on. Put the water in there because we flushed it. Here we go. Whoa! I'm getting wet. Wasn't it? Yeah, woohoo! That's hitting the road from here. So we can crank that back. Beautiful. Yes, I'm getting wet, I don't even care. Hit me! I don't even care. Oh, maybe I do. It is like 3 degrees here right now, it's freezing. A weird time of year to do irrigation, but yeah, how good is this? Even at the end, we've got tons of pressure. Yes. Oh, good, man. I thought I'd come back the next day just so you guys can really see how the sprinklers are working now. Obviously we have to adjust them so that there's hitting the lawn and not the path down the bottom. Now also the sprinklers we haven't got set in place yet. They're all just sitting there, but they will be hanging off the edge of the concrete just a little bit so we can put the edger through there and do a whippersnipping and stuff. So they're not going to be right up against the edge, as you can see here. I did put up an Instagram story and a few people were like, why are you putting it up against the edge of the path? Because it's not done yet. Did you see the dirt there? Anyway, let's flick the sprinklers back on and let's just see how far it's shooting this morning now that we can actually see what's going on. Here we go. Starting to crank out. Here we go. So you can see that far out. That's going all the way down the road, halfway across the road. Yes, we've got great pressure here. Now, these need to be adjusted, which we'll do next week, but these all go 270, so see that's hitting the house at the moment. You can actually grab these. I'm getting wet, and it's freezing, it's frosty. You can adjust them. Ooh, ooh. No. Adjust that one. I'm getting wet from behind. With these MP rotators, the good thing is you've got a little key. You can actually adjust the head on them, so adjust how far they throw, and also adjust the arc on them too, which is great. But man, that is shooting head to head so easily. Like it's hitting the path down there, and then we're hitting that sprinkler over there too. Shows how much pressure we've got here. That's just off one valve. It is ridiculous. Now I can see that bottom one down there isn't quite shooting all the way up the top, and that would be just because we need to adjust the actual arc on it. Sprinkler down the bottom's only just starting to kick in now. So there's still a little bit of air on the line, obviously. There we go. They're starting to ramp up now. Now, a good thing is to leave the trenches open and do a little bit of testing to see if you've got any leaks along the lines anywhere, or if you've got any loss of pressure. Never fill your trenches in and then test it, because you just never ever know. Now, some quick tips that I may not have mentioned throughout this video is make sure you always put your pipe down 200 mil at least, just so that if you're ever digging in the garden or anything, you're not going to hit that pipe very easily. At least it's a decent depth down. As I said, don't fill the trenches in until you've checked everything, just to make sure it all works. Now, if you find you don't have enough pressure, find the irrigation just wasn't designed properly, what you can do is you can put another station in. So you just have to run another line, use another solenoid on your manifold up the top. I did this at my old house, believe it or not, and dig some trenches, and you split it into two. So you can split, say for example, this section over this side of the path here, and that section over there, to get more out of it, and run them at two separate times. So you can always deal with less pressure if you need to, but luckily here we've got plenty enough pressure to make it work. Now, when we fill these trenches back in, we've got to make sure we're very careful and the pipe is flat against the ground, especially with that low density, because you can get some kinks in it and have problems in the long run. So when we do it, we'll make sure we've got it right against the bottom of the ground, then pile our dirt on top. Now, with trenches, obviously it's going to settle over time. So what I like to do personally is fill them in, get them nice and level, and then water for a few days, like 1 or 2 times a day. Actually helps the trenches settle, and you can run like, I don't know, like a mower tire or something over it, something heavy, and make them sink down a bit more to help compact it, and then add some more soil on top. Made to do this like 2 or 3 times, just so you get your levels nice, because yeah, unfortunately, when you put the dirt back in, it needs to compact a little bit. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Keep an eye out for the rest of the series. Gonna go to my brother's place next week, my little brother Taylor. Gonna spray some weeds out. We're gonna start looking and planning for irrigation there too. Full on irrigation, so you guys will see us start to finish on design, checking the pressure, everything, so you guys can learn from that for your own lawn. So appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next vid.